Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to deconstruct a figure of immense power, someone you encounter every single day, probably without even thinking about it.
So what do they all have in common? Well, they all tap into this universal archetype, right? A kind of primal blueprint for human behavior that's all about authority, structure, and, well, control. And believe it or not, this entire powerful idea is perfectly summed up in just one tarot card.
Okay, so let's dive in and meet him. We're talking about the Emperor. He's the ultimate rule giver, the guy who builds the foundations. You could even say he's the architect of the world as we know it.
You know, his core meaning, it's been pretty much the same for centuries. He is the ultimate figure of worldly power. He's the one laying down the rules, setting the boundaries, and making sure things get done. He's literally the force that brings order to chaos.
And this ties in so perfectly with his astrological sign, which is Aries, the ram. I mean, that explains everything, right? That fiery, take-charge personality. Aries is a sign that just does not back down. It refuses to compromise on its vision. It's all about passion. And that direct, courageous energy, well, that's the engine driving all of the Emperor's power.
And then there's his number 4. 4 is all about stability, and you see it everywhere. Think about it. The 4 corners of a room, 4 legs on a chair. It's the number of security, of responsibility. It's about building a foundation so solid that it can handle pretty much anything thrown at it.
But, okay, to really get who the Emperor is, we have to look closer. We've got to decode the symbols all around him. Seriously, every little detail on this card tells a piece of his story.
First off, just look at his throne. It's not some cushy velvet chair, is it? Nope. It's carved out of solid, formidable stone. And that tells you everything. His rule isn't about luxury he inherited. It's about solid, earned strength. It's about permanence. And if you look closely, you'll see those 4 ram heads, a constant, unsubtle nod to his assertive Aries side.
Now check out what he's holding. These are not just fancy royal accessories. In one hand, you've got the Ankh, the ancient Egyptian symbol for life itself. This shows he's not just a ruler, he's creating the very structure for life to thrive. And that orb in his other hand, that represents the entire world under his command, the whole domain he's mastered.
And here's a detail that's easy to miss. See what's peeking out from under his robes? It's a full suit of armor. I love this part, because it reveals his protective side. He might be sitting on his throne, looking all regal, but he is always ready for a fight. He's a ruler for sure, but he's a defender first, ready to protect his kingdom at the drop of a hat.
Okay, and now look at the background behind him. That harsh, rocky landscape, it's a huge contrast to the lush green garden you see with his counterpart, the Empress, right? These barren mountains, they symbolize his detachment, his immovable resolve. They're a reminder that real leadership often means making tough, logical calls without letting emotion get in the way.
But here's the thing about power, any kind of power. It's got 2 sides. The Emperor is no different. In tarot, this comes through when a card is upright versus reversed. His energy can be an amazing force for building things up, or it can totally hold you back.
So, when the Emperor shows up upright, he's that ideal figure, the good father, the disciplined leader, the one creating stability for everyone. But flip that card over, whoa, that same energy just sours. He becomes a tyrant, a total control freak who won't listen to anyone and just dominates the whole situation. This is how a respected leader can turn into that boss nobody wants, the one who's super demanding and whose comments are just cold and hurtful. That fiery Aries passion we talked about, when it's not balanced, it just burns way too bright, and instead of creating security, it creates an environment of fear. Okay, so why does any of this ancient stuff matter to you and me today? It's because in our crazy modern world, we all feel the pull of the Emperor's energy, especially, and this is the big one, when it comes to our need for control.
I mean, have you ever felt that little spike of anxiety when your Amazon package is an hour late? Or when a plan you laid out perfectly goes just a tiny bit sideways? Yup, that's the Emperor's energy bubbling up.
It makes sense, right? Our whole world is built on it. We've got instant gratification, next-day delivery, Google giving us answers in a split second. We've gotten really used to being in the driver's seat. And deep down, we start to believe that if we can just control everything, then we'll be safe. Nothing unexpected can happen.
This quote from Ali Brosh just captures that feeling perfectly. It's about what happens when that illusion of control shatters.
When you realize you can't keep all the plates spinning at once. That deep-seated fear of the unknown can really trigger a sense of panic.
So what do we do about it? How do we balance this powerful energy in our own lives? Well, the idea is to work with the emperor, not against him. And we do that by asking ourselves some really honest questions, like, what am I actually afraid of losing control over? Getting to the bottom of these questions helps us find stability inside ourselves so we can learn to trust that we'll be okay, even when things don't go exactly to plan.
And that's really the ultimate lesson of the emperor. He teaches us that the best, highest form of authority isn't about domination at all. It's about responsibility. It's about creating a solid structure where other people can actually succeed and thrive. It's about leading with fairness and serving the good of the group.
So, at the end of the day, the emperor is a challenge to all of us. He challenges us to build, to lead, and to take command of our own lives, but to do it with wisdom and discipline. So the final question isn't really if you have this energy inside you, because we all do. The real question is, what are you going to build with it?